what REDcap shows us. So there is a text which is optional because sometimes you in a matrix of Likert scales you don't need to be putting different headers. But in this case we need because it's the first one. So I'll duplicate the text object, I'll move it down, change the number to 3, matrix REDcap item. Likert scale. Likert scale. Actually, this is the description, not the... Okay, I'm gonna change this. Let's put the... Oh, but if we have the prompt on the top, right? So you could say like, you could write your prompt here. Since we are doing UI tutorial and we are using a basic text component, I'm gonna show one more element, especially for people who have studied the HTML or other web programming language or meta tags, for instance. You can have a little control over formatting if you know tags. And in Unity, this is controlled by this option here, rich text. So use emoticons and colors. If it's true, you can. If it's false, you cannot. So what I want to do, I want to make this comment. You could write your prompt here in italics. So I'm going to come to the text box. I'm going to open the tag I, and I'm going to close the tag I, and then it applies the effect I want. Uh, REDcap. Let's write REDcap in red. So color equals red. I don't know if the syntax is like that, but let's try. Close the tag color. Dun-dun! Right? Okay. And Likert scale, it's the type of question. So I'm going to make it bold. Open the tag B. Oops. Close the tag B. And then Likert scale should be bold. Oh, it's already bold. So I'm going to remove the overall bold here and put normal so you can see the difference. And I'm going to call the attention that the matrix is the type of question from red tag. So I'm going to put underline. Ooh, it's not like that. What is the tag for underline? It should be you. Oh, look at that. The style from the original text doesn't have underline, so that's why. Um, so okay, that's bad. I'm not gonna be going through these details because this is already old. But it has transferable skills, like using these tags can also apply to Text Mesh Pro and other similar things. Oh, I think I also can make bold the number 3 to be... All right. So this is a matrix. Okay, this is the label. Oh, text. I'm going to label this as matrix header. Now I'm going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to say Likert scale items, group of items. and I'm gonna make this a child of the other one, and I'm gonna reset the position, and then I'm going to move it down and move left. I'm gonna remove this number. So this is the prompt, right? So the following qualities are important in my supervisor. This is the title. Now I have to have the items. No, not the items first. This is tricky. We can do this in many ways visually. Like I'm gonna do both. So let's see. First, uh, I'm going to put the labels of each item. So I'll duplicate this and believable. So, and I want to make this a child of the other one. Believable. I also need to have a number. So one, believable. Right. So I'm going to duplicate these labels now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next one is approachable. So the organization convention vary. If you're working individually, that's interesting. So you can do whatever makes sense for you. But if you are working in a group, which is more likely to happen, you need to see whatever will help better. The good thing about using this system of having two pieces, like a label for the game object and in between parentheses, you can use the type of that object, because when you drag things here into the inspector, you can see like the material. Which is the material? Currently it's empty, so none is the name of the material, none. But what type of object do you need to drag into this space? It's an object of the type material. For example, this text, we don't have any material, so if I try to drag here, it doesn't work. But if I add, like temporarily, in the believable text, I add a material or texture, texture or render. Where is that? Mesh renderer. So Mesh Render has a default material UI. So in this case now, the text believe is a game object that contains a mesh renderer or a material uh, component. So if I want to drag here the material of this text, now I can. I should. Why is it not working? Oh, there. Okay, okay. So let me change this here. I need to create a material in the project, but since we are not doing details like 3D, let's leave it be. So we can work with this in another opportunity. Let's go back to the focus. Believable, approachable. Oops, 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 oops. I change these numbers because they are ugly. All of them. So when you select mode objects, if you have a dash like this, it means that there are multiple values. And if you see the value when you have multiple objects selected, it means that all of them share the same value. I want these 5 to share the same position. So let's see, minus 415. Um, okay. Now I want only these to go down and these three to go down. These two to go down and this one to go down. I'm going to start changing the numbers. So the last quality is qualified. I'm going to remove these as well because I need to be organized, facilitate colleagues work in the future. Even ourselves, when we come back to a project, if something is disorganized, it's easy to get very frustrated or not productive. So qualified is number 5. Ouch. Wait, no, this is qualified. This one is successful. Third one is honest. Forgetting to change the number, so this is number 3. And successful is number 4. And the second one is approachable. Uh, Notice that all of the originals are in caps, so we can hold shift and select all of them, and I can believe that it doesn't have it here. That's why Unity bought Text Mesh Pro, because we can change that. Alright, so it's gonna be like this. I'm not gonna type everything again. I guess I'm gonna unbold them. Mhm. So these are the headers, like the labels for each item in the matrix of a Likert scale. Now I'm gonna put the the Likert scale choices on. Ah, yeah, this is the thing that I said that there are 2 ways of doing that. So this is Likert scale matrix 1, type type 1. So type 1, I'm gonna copy this style here, which is the most used in our projects with like data collection, attitudinal data. That we have the check mark and the Likert scale item. Let's do that first. So since I don't want to be creating toggles again, I'm going to copy this thing here, these Likert scale toggles, duplicate, and insert under believable to be a child of believable. I'll reset the transform so it stays here. And now I'm going to move it to the right. Ta-da! No, here. Yeah. I'll have to have some kind of help here to show me. In each toggle, I need to now change to the correct label. The first label is extremely important. So if it is cutting like this, you can work with the overflow, vertical overflow, truncate, no, yeah, truncate, and horizontal overflow, warp. So extremely important. Terrible, terrible. Where's that? Maybe I'm going to put middle like this and like this. Okay. All of them have importance, so I'm totally going to copy this and paste it here, here, here. Second label, very important. I guess I'm also gonna copy the this style here. So since I change a lot of things, I'm going to copy the component. So click here, copy component, and I'll go to the new one and I'll paste component as values. Oh, the rect transform was not changed, so I did like this a little bit down. Very. Somewhat important. Ah, somewhat important. Paste component as values, somewhat slightly important. Paste component as values, slightly, not at all, not important at all. So this one is big. Not important. I think you can hold Shift Enter to right below. Oops, no, hold Shift, not Shift, Control Enter. No, we can't. Can't we? No, we can't. Not here in text. So okay, not important at all. Oh, I didn't paste the component value, so it's going to be warp, truncate, middle, a little down. This item is weird, but anyways. Alright, so this is the first type. What would I do now? I would totally communicate that this group of toggles belongs to the believable. This is just for the sake of organization. Because now I'm going to duplicate them and move down. Then duplicate again, move down. Can you see that I'm using the outline, the white outline from the parent of the text for me to guide where I'm putting the next one? For example, here, I have Likert scale toggle selected, but this text successful, the parent is telling me where it is, where the space of the parent is. So I can, the one that I'm selected is the group of toggles. So I can move down in the Y and have that white line to guide me, like kind of eyeballing where I would like that to be. All right, this is the first type of Likert scales, matrix Likert scales, visually speaking. I need to change here to approachable. Successful. and qualified. Qualified. Save.